Welcome to this tutorial on Mega Template. If you've bought this, thank you for your purchase. In this video, we'll quickly go through how to edit all the slides. Obviously, there are about 117 slides, so I'm going to be very quick and fast in skimming through it. I'm just going to explain you the major uh, how to change some slides that require a little bit of intervention. Everything else is designed to be very simple. Without wasting any time, let's just get started. So the first slide, it's obviously drag and drop. So if I just delete this image and go down here, drag this image, drop, there you go. That's how simple it is. So just drag and drop this image and you're done. Just gonna go back to the old image. Same thing with slide number 2. Drag this image, drop, and there you go. Going back again. Slide number 3, this image is a little different. So the way you change this image is you go right, go to format picture, go here, go to fill, and go to picture or texture fill, and picture source, go to insert. You can insert from your desktop, any file location, or you can insert from stock images. I'm just quickly going to go to stock images and I'm just going to pick this one, insert, and there you go. So that's how it is. Slide number 4. Slide number 4 is fairly simple. What the slide does is you have 3 options and you've decided that you're selecting option 2. So if you go up, if you make this big, one click option 1, one click option 2, one click option 3, and then it's going to select option 2. And the next slide has to be used in conjunction with this slide, where you just expand and explain why you want option 2. You can move this here if you want, if at all you want people to select option 3. But then if you're also then trying to use the next slide, just make sure you push this somewhere here so it kind of matches, so option 1, option 2, option 3, you're selecting option 3 now and you're explaining why option 2, right? So probably just push it up a little bit. So quickly going to option 6, this is again a drag and drop. So I'm just going to remove this and drag and drop. Just readjust this just a little bit and you're good. So this is 6. Quickly going to 7. 7 is fairly self-explanatory. 8 is self-explanatory too. 9 is also, 10 is fairly self-explanatory. 11 is 3 pillars. So 11 to about 16 is all about 3, 4, and 5 pillars. 17 is a quiz. So essentially the way it works is I have set 4 options where option 1 is the right one in this regard. In the next slide, option 2 is the right one. So the way it works is full screen. So your question is here. So click option 1, click option 2, click option 3, click option 4. Now your audience has to guess which is the right answer. And once they guess, you click one more time, and it selects option 1. So it's the same for option 2, option 3, and option 4. Slide 21 is again, if you have different product comparisons, that's what you do. So again, this is drag and drop. So all you have to do is drag and drop. All right, so that's how it is, as simple as that. This is again a drag and drop image. So just drag image and drop. All right, so is this. Just to note though, this slide is more of a transition slide. So if you go from CEO and then you have this beautiful transition. If you want all of the slides to be transition slides like this, all you have to do is right click, duplicate slides, and it's just going to duplicate and it's going to copy the transition as well. There you go. 25 is the same thing. I've added a bit of animations. What I'm essentially trying to do is try to give you all different options in one slide so you don't have to work with animations. A quick note on animations while we are at animations. In any of these slides, if you don't want animations, all you have to do is go to animation, go to animation pane, click here, enter shift, click here. Basically, you're clicking everything and then hit the delete button. So now if you go on slideshow mode, animations are gone. That's it. I'm just going to bring back animations. So that's how they look. Okay, 26 is the same. All you have to do is drag and drop your pictures, and voila. 27 is organizational chart, self-explanatory. 28 is org chart with a bit of animation. 29 is org chart. All you have to do is drag and drop. Sorry, let's do this. Let's go this guy. Let's just do drag and drop. So there you go. 30 is I've just made tables look a little interesting. All they do is click, you explain column 1, click column 2, click column 3. Table 31 is the same thing with rows. Just click row 1, row 2, and row 3. And the next slide is essentially you have this table, but you want to highlight a specific area. So just click. In this case, it would be the totals here. Obviously, if you have a specific number that you want to point out, all you have to do is drag and drop this here and then go to the table, one click. There you go. This is an interesting slide. What this represents is something like a scroll down a date. The way you do it is, let's say you have a date of 25th June 2025, right? So all you have to do here is right click, bring this to front. Okay, so your date is, so if your date is, sorry, I'm just going to show this once again. Let's just send this to back for now. So now your final date is 25th June 2025. Now you want to change this to, let's say, 20 October 2030. Let's keep that date. In fact, let's write this date out here. 20 October 2030, right? So all you have to do here is bring to front. Now if your date is 20 October, that 20 October has to be here. Okay, so if this is 20 October, this would be 19, 18, 17, and 16. And this again, so once you do this, you send to back, and then you right click here, bring to front. Now your date is October. So here where you have May, you will have, sorry, here. Sorry guys, I just might have made a quick error. So I'm just gonna go bring this to front. What I did was I just missed this part. So let's just call this 21 October, and let's just change this to 21 October. There you go. It's just I not looked at this part. So now if this is October, OCT, um, September, August, July, June, May, right? And then this would be 2030. So bring this to front, just do 2030, 2029, 2028, 2027, 2026, and 2025. Okay, now once all this is done, right click, send to back, right click, send to back, and then right click, send to back. Right now, if you scroll, you should get 21 October 2030. So just make sure the bottommost line is the date you want, and everything above that will be in descending order. So that's how easy it is. And just make sure you send it to back once you're done. So I'm just going to delete this part right here. There you go. Once again, 21st October 2030. Okay. Next slide is basic. It's another basic slide. This has a bit of animation where you're fixing your bulb and then it lights up. Same thing here, notebook. Same thing here, it's kind of a notebook with a bit of graph. Coming to graphs, these are editable graphs. All you have to do is right click, edit data. This should open a small Excel kind of page. All you have to do is just change if you want to change these. So for example, this can be California, Los Angeles, California, Utah, Ohio, or Florida, and then you can have the numbers change here. It's as simple as that. So let's say I do 50, and there you go, it's just changed to 50, and that's how simple it is. Same thing, this is an editable graph too. This is a marketing funnel. This is a marketing funnel with animations. At any point of time you don't want animations, all you have to do is go to animations, animation pane, select all, and then just delete, or you can just remove. Okay, if you don't want these, you can just delete these. If you just want a clean funnel, you can just do that. Animation, so this is stages of growth. There's not much editing to do in this one. In terms of the animation, it's just it just makes it interesting. That's the only reason. If you have very little content, and if you think you need something to make the slide a little more interesting, a little more engaging, this is it. And this is a 3-stage animation. This is the same thing. This animation has been adopted to a 4th stage. Just don't touch any of this. Just make all your edits here. Don't touch any of this. Same thing, this fairly self-explanatory. Checkpoints. This also has a bit of animation. Just make sure you don't touch any of these animations. A quick note on icons. So the way you do it is you don't delete and then insert a new icon. Rather, because if you delete and insert a new icon, your animations are just going to go off because the animation was associated with that icon. Rather, let's say you want to change this to a car, and then just go change graphic. So right click, change graphic from icons, and let's just say car. Right, so once you get a car, all you have to do is just do this, and the animation remains unchanged. So that's how you change your icon. Same thing here. If you want to change this, let's say you want to change this handshake, right? And you just don't want to lose the dimensions and the color. All you have to do is click here once, click here twice to select the icon, right click, change graphic from icons. Let's say you want this dinosaur to be there. There you go. As simple as that. 44 is the same, 45 is the same. Just quickly, this is an editable bar graph. Just go to edit data and just make sure you add. So right now it is a 2 column. Let's say you wanted to add something like a third column. All you have to do is 50, add 50. Let's say add about 200, 300, and then another 200 here. Just make sure. Yeah. So let me just click here. Just gonna double check. Yeah, just make sure this thing is dragged here, right? So now you have the 3 columns. Again, if you want this to be 1 column, just drag this here and you'll have 1 column. As simple as that. And this applies to any other place where you see charts, right? Same thing applies here. Oh, sorry, my bad. Same thing applies here to this. This is animated. Same logic applies to this bar chart as well. It's just 3D. Same editable chart here as well. This is a pie chart. The way you edit this pie chart is the same way you did the bar chart. Just right click here, go to edit data, and just make sure you name whatever you want and whatever sales figures you want. In this case, it has been set to percentages. The way you can change this is you do format data labels, and then let's say you don't want percentage, you just remove percentage, and instead of percentage you want the values that you had entered. So there you go, these are the original values. I generally use pie chart for percentages, but if you want both, you can get both, right? It's as simple as that. Same logic applies to just obviously this is a donut chart, so same logic applies to this pie chart as well. Only difference being this is a 4 pi. I've given you 2 options, a 4 pi and a 3 pi. Yeah, essentially 3 pies. What you can this is obviously animated. So have Europe, Asia, and Africa. So it just adds that, it just gives that little bit of extra when you make a presentation. It just makes it so much better. This slide is an interesting one. Let's say you didn't want to do, right click, edit data, and change stuff manually right here. You didn't want this to be automatic, rather. So you just do this. These are nothing but blocks. You can just move these around. And let's say this is 8 billion. Let's say you want this to be 8 billion too. So all you have to do is go here, just do 8 billion, and then right click, group, and then ungroup, and then once again group, ungroup, and now just click this, delete, click this, delete, click this, delete. Now this is back to 8 billion, right? So this is how it is. So so the same thing, this is animated. It's just these bottom lines are the bottom dates are animated, and you have your descriptions animated. This is the same thing. Let's say you have 2 divisions. You have your retail division, and then you have your wholesale division, something like that. or so let's say your retail division is brought in 70% for 2022 and wholesale bought you 30%. So this is just something that you can use to make that change. So all you have to do is right click, group, ungroup, again group, ungroup. So let's say you want to make this 50-50, right? So there you go, make this 50 and then make this 50 as well. So now you have 50-50, and if you want to change to 12, then you want to change to 13 billion. That's how it is, as simple as that. This gives you a lot more flexibility if you don't want to go to the previous bar chart and change the numbers manually, right? If you're if you're short for time, you can just like move these blocks around. Let's say you do this. Let's say you don't want anything. Let's say you don't want this splitting, right? All you have to do is just do this and then pull this, drag and drop all the way, right? So that's how it is. This slide gives you a lot of flexibility. This is just to show 24-hour operations. This is something to indicate something balanced, risk reward and stuff like that. The step is, let's say you want to remove a specific step. I've already created the animations for you. All you need to do is fill stuff up. Obviously, if you don't need the fifth step or the fourth step, you can feel free to delete it, but this is how it works. Something comes, pulls, and it goes back. I've done the same thing if you have to remove step 2, if you have to remove step 3, if you have to remove step 4, and step 5. So the next few slides are all about that. This is a quick animation about, let's say if you want to ask a question and you want someone to answer. I've just done a quick animation. Feel free to play around with this. The only difference between this and this is this guy is going to respond when you click the arrow. Self-explanatory here, self-explanatory here. These are just floating animations. Obviously, feel free to remove the animations if you don't like it. The float is kept very minimal so people can follow the text. This is a gallery option. Obviously, as you see, this is drag and drop, right? So this is a drag and drop option. And yeah, just as we showed you in previous slides, same thing here. This is a drag and drop option as well. So it just makes it so much faster for you to build these slides. This is a project plan. This is nothing but a table. So if you want to change any color, let's say this task, let's just call this painting, right? Painting is just in March and April. So all you need to do is select these 3 boxes, go to shape fill, go to no fill. Sorry, come down again. Okay. So you just want it for March and April. So all you need to do is select these 2, and then you can add whichever color you want. Or let's say you want to keep this color. Let's say you just want to keep this blue color. All you have to do is select this, go to shape fill, just go to eyedropper. You basically want this color, right? So just this color, and there you go. It's just March, April. Obviously, if you want to change color, go here and then just change your color. Same thing here. This is basically you have to move this around just a little bit, and then obviously you have to change your font. Just make sure you keep this all matched. It's a little harder, but it depends on what you want. Like, use whichever suits you. This is something I did to indicate something to do with satellite communications. So you could do you could remove this, and you could insert, let's say, an icon, and just do an office, right? You could just do this, an office, and you could just change this, right? Same way you could change this. You could put a you could insert a cell phone here. So phone, yeah. So you could just use a cell phone, and then you could just play around with it the way you want. So I'm just gonna go back and do everything that I did. There you go. So this is how this works. So one antenna is beaming to the satellite, and one is receiving. It just adds a little bit of just fun to anything that you're explaining. 74, it's all about customer rating. So 5-star has got 55%, 4-star has got 20%, and so on and so forth. Same thing with 75, same thing with 76. 77 is an animation to show rearranging of operations quickly, and this is how it looks. Then this is fairly self-explanatory. Added a bit of animation here, animation on click. These are 6 steps which are animated, 5 steps animated, 4 steps animated. Simple slide. Uh, if you just want a no nonsense slide, this is it. No nonsense slide, this is it. No nonsense slide, bit of animation, this is it. So I've done all the thinking for you guys. So I hope you don't have to move things around too much. Another simple explanatory slide. Added a bit of 3D here so it pops out. The same pie chart again, as I told you, right click, edit data, do whatever you have to do here. Just ensure that this, if when you add something here, just if this does not automatically come here, just make sure you drag this and pull it down. That's all you need to know in this. Looks beautiful once you've done this. Fairly simple slide. Same bar graph again, a bit of variation. Another simple slide. This should indicate a good, bad, and critical. I've done a bit of animation here. Green indicates good scenario. This is like meh, it's okay, add what you want. And then this is critical. Obviously, these are icons, so feel free to change them the way you want. Here. Okay, so another fairly self-explanatory slide. This is something that indicates poll and opinion. This has been designed fairly in a simple way for you to understand. So let's say this is 70%, right? You just want to change this to 50%. So just double click on this and just move this around to 50. And then double click on this, move this around to 50, and then just change this to 50. So as simple as that. This is the same thing, it's just animated. Just adds a little bit of extra visuals to otherwise a blank slide, let's say. Porters 5 forces for all your business grads. Feel free to change the icons as you deem fit. Same thing, this is just projects in green. It just has a traffic light and green highlighted here. Same thing here, it's just this is all in one. Once you have projects in red, now you have projects in amber, you have projects in green. So if you want everything in one slide, obviously it's not just projects, you can use this for anything. Something like, we have to red light these things, we have to green light these things, stuff like that. Percentage completion is another simple. So I need to remove this particular slide is not animated. The next one is. So the way you do it is right click, edit data. So obviously, as you see, you have, just delete this. you have 60 40, right? So if you want 60 to show up here, all you have to do is make sure 60 is here. If you want 40 to show up, make sure 40 is here. For example, let's say if you let's say you want to make this 70, just make sure these add, because it's percentage, it has to add to 100. So just do 70 and then do 30. Right now, if you do 70 30, this is how it should show up. And let's say you want to do 2080, or let's say 3080, just do 30 and then 30 and then 70. Right now you have 30 70. Just make sure you align this back here to the center once again. These tend to go off when you rearrange, when you change the values. So there you go, it's just back. Just 30, this is 70, and this is 30 again. As simple as that. It's fairly self-explanatory slide. This is three options: gold, silver, bronze. You can do coupon 1, coupon 2, coupon 3. Just added a bit of animation here. First slide is click and then okay, you can tell your audience, you know what, this gold gives you the best features and all stuff like that, right? So gold, silver, bronze, one slide for each. Next slide is fairly self-explanatory. This is another basic animation that shows you something like a dial or a speedometer. It just adds a little bit of extra to this presentation. This means doesn't add much otherwise. It this just does not take away from the visual experience of explaining the slide. Here is a small bit of accounting. Let's say you want to do your units performance or your stores or your company's performance. You want it to be very clean. You want to have your revenues here, your cost or your expenses, and then your profit here. But then you also want to break down your bit of revenue. Let's say where you get your revenues from: motorcycle sales, bike sale, car sales, parts, automotive parts, stuff like that. You want to have your expenses. You can say what are your fixed costs, or variable costs, and stuff like that. Within profit, uh, you can have different types of breakdowns. You can say what is your EBIT, what's your operating margin, and stuff like that, right? You can add a bit of line items to this. Obviously, you can delete any of this if you want. Just if you want to delete any of it, just delete. So if you have to delete this, all you have to do is just group, ungroup, and then this you just do group, ungroup, and then just do this and then do this. One thing I want you to remember is anytime there is an animation, let's say in the next slide there is an animation, the moment you ungroup, because all these things are animated as one, these are all grouped, so all these things are animated as one. The moment you ungroup this, you will lose your animations. Let's say you ungroup it and then you realized, oh, I shouldn't have ungrouped it. Do a Control Z rather than regrouping it, so you don't lose your animation. This is the same thing, it's just a bit of variation on animation. So this is how it's animated one way, and this is just a little bit of, this is 24-hour clock, the animation being clock rotates. It's a very clean slide. Feel free to change the colors on this, double click, shape fill, and then yeah, you want something like a dark green, go ahead. If you want to make this, if you don't want this pattern, just right click, go to format shape, and right now you are in this fill and you are in pattern fill, and then you have the patterns, right? You have this pattern selected. All you have to do is go, just give solid fill, then select your color for solid fill. Let me do a gray for now. So that's how it is. If you want to change the color for it. this is a cool slide. Let's say you have different activities at different percentages, right? So, so the way you do it is, so let me go to slideshow mode, and then this is 25%. So the way to understand this and the way to change this is, so this whole semicircle represents 100%, right? So if you want to show, let's say 75%, right? So let's go here. Right now it's at 25%. So let's just right click. Sorry, let's just go to animations here because this is an animation. Just go to animation pane. And as you can see, group 3, this would be group 3. So go here, then go here, go to effect options, and as you see, 25% is 45 degrees clockwise. So let's just say, um, you want to do, let's just do this 90 degrees and let's see what happens. So ideally 90 degrees should be this. The whole thing is 180 degrees, so 90 degrees should be this. So 90 degrees will ideally indicate 50%, right? So let's just do 90, then click enter. Okay, there you go, 50%. Just make sure you change this to 50%, right? um, similarly just make sure, just do the quick math. So your math would be, so I'm just going to do the quick math for you here. So 100% is 180 degrees, right? So you add your percentage. So if 100% is 180 degrees, if let's say your percentage is X, so your math should be, so your the data that you fill here should be X times 180 divided by 100, right? So for example, let's say you want to show 50%, right? Let's say x is 50%. So it should be 50 times 180 divided by 100. So what is 50 times 180 divided by 100? So 50 divided by 100 is half. So it's 180 times half. So your answer is 90. So you have to enter 90 here. There you go. So same thing. If your x is, let's say you want this to be 45%, right? Or let's say you want this to be 40%. And now let's just quickly open our calculator, right? So if your x is now 40%, so your math would be 40 times 180 divided by 100. So this would be, let's do 40 times 180 equals divided by 100. So it would be 72. So let's just go here. Click on this. So this is group 14. Go down here, go to effect options, and then, sorry, how much did we say was? I forgot. So calculator, so 40 times 180 equals divided by 100 is 72. So just do 72 here and then click enter and then click OK. There you go. This is, so if you go here, now one is 50%, one is 40%. So you got how to do it. Slide 114 is interesting. This is another way to show percentages. If you scroll back, previously we had a very simple way of doing percentages, right? Where you just drag this to, let's say, 50 or 100 or 75 or whatever suits you. Here it's a little bit different. So all you have to do here is click here, right click, go to format shape, go to, just make sure this is in gradient fill. So now this is at 70%, right? All I have to do is go here, click on one. So let's say I want to make this 50%. I'm just going to make this 50%. Okay. So once I did that to 50%, I'm going to click. So obviously there were two here. So basically click on the other one and then make that 50% as well. Enter. And there you go. Just make sure both are at 50% and you'll get this 50%. Just change this. As simple as that. Same logic applies to all of these. Only thing is just make sure you don't change the icons here, because then you will lose the whole shading effect. Obviously you can feel free to change the color, format, shape. Just feel free to change it to red if you want, right? Just just add any color you want. This is a fairly self-explanatory. Basically, these are two separate icons. These are the tasks that have been completed, and these are the tasks that are pending. Just a very simple slide. This is the same thing again. Just go to edit data. Wherever you have 75, this should be the number that that you want, right? So if you want 40 here, just make sure this is 60. Oh, I've done the math for you here in this case. So it's already 60. So there you go. It's a fairly simple slide. Fairly simple slide. This is again just like this one. Just all you need to do is edit it. Alright guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I had. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation as well, and I wish you good luck to whatever you're presenting.